So our Bible highlight for the day was Joshua 24:15. Choose for yourselves this day whom you will serve. And so in my small group, I was asking the girls if anyone had already made a decision for Christ. And so a few of the girls were sharing their stories about how they asked Jesus into their heart. And I just said, that's really great. I said, but there might be a few girls here who have never had the opportunity to do that. And right away, one little girl looked at me and she said, I never had a chance to do that. And I said, would you like to do that today? And she said, yes. And then it was like a chain reaction, and I had almost instantly 4 more little girls said, I want to do that. I want to pray and ask Jesus into my heart. So I had the opportunity we prayed together, and that day 5 third-grade girls asked Jesus into their hearts.
I've been having this conversation with a little guy that I've gotten to know, and he was not feeling well one of the weeks, and I took him out into the hallway just to sit with me, and we were talking, and he had overheard a conversation that I had on the phone earlier about an answer to prayer that I had received. And so we were sitting there, we were actually working on the craft for the day, and we were talking, and he said, does God always answer prayers? And I said, oh, yeah. I said, he does. And I said, sometimes not always the way that we want. Sometimes it's a yes, sometimes it's a no, and sometimes it's a wait. And he said, does he always answer your prayers? And I said, well, yeah, sometimes it's a yes, sometimes it's a no, sometimes it's a wait. And he said, I don't know that he does for me. And we had a conversation about that and kind of talked about why he thought that. And he's had a hard life, and he's got some definite lies that he's coming up against. I think that Satan has told him and his family, and I think he's really understanding that God is for him and that God is speaking to his heart. And I think he's getting a broader perspective of what that looks like in his life and that he's real. And I don't know that he knew that before he started coming.
Earlier this year, we were doing God Has a Purpose and a Plan for Your Life. And one of the little boys raised his hand, and he told us that he knew God had a purpose and a plan for his life because his parents died in Russia, and he lived with a bad family, and then he was able to get a nice family, and then he was able to come to America. And so he knew that God had a purpose and a plan for his life.
My name is Tatiana Matos, and I go to Hamilton James Elementary School. I'm Damaris.
I met Damaris and Tatiana last year, and as I got to know them, they started opening up more, and we talked about the CBAs, and they wanted to accept Jesus as their personal Savior.
I asked Jesus into my heart because I wanted to go to heaven.
They just prayed with me, and it was awesome just seeing them make that next step to accept Jesus, and just watching them grow and read the Bible together and interact with the other girls and with me, sharing different stories. It's been great.